Good morning, everyone. Hope all of you have shared your details with the friend office. Okay, cool. Let's get started then. Okay, so it's a very same question I always ask before starting any session. Why do you want to learn Power BI?
The dashboards.
Okay, to create the dashboards. What else? Let's do this way. Just all of you, both online, offline participants, just introduce yourself, your name, and if you're working somewhere, where are you working and what's your experience? If you're a fresher, okay, so that's fine. Just want to hear from you that why do you want to learn Power BI? Just like you introduce yourself and why do you want to learn Power BI?
Myself from Andhra Pradesh. I'm a fresher. I have graduated in computer science and engineering. Why I have choose data analyst because so many competition is upon that data analyst and jobs are coming on data analyst. So that I choose this.
Okay, so a lot of things on data analytics, so that's why you chose this. Okay, great then. Online participants, please go ahead.
Yeah. Hi everyone. Myself Deepu. So I'm currently working for GSK as an ops manager. The reason I opted Power BI because my role is all about the presentation, and instead of spending time on PPTs, I thought of let's learn Power BI and try to present data with the Power BI tool.
Yeah, great. Thanks for that. Others?
Hi Kishore, my name is Shrikant. I have been working with the MNC company for almost 17 years now. So yeah, Power BI plays a crucial role in data extracting, where we can do dashboards and we can do the Excel files into meaningful file in Power Query. Yeah, a lot of stuff is there in Power BI, so I thought of learning would be a great and we can learn something new from here.
Great, yeah, thanks for that.
Yeah.
Maybe one or two more online participants.
Hi Kishore, this is Pavni here. I'm a senior business analyst working for the Fidelity Investments for 9 years. And Power BI is for me like to have a like insights from the uh, to give a technology driven method where I can visualize data, visualize the tool with the various multiple connectors and services to use within my platform. Thank you.
Got it. Thank you. Great, yeah. Any other online?
Hi Kishore, this is Amarnath. Uh, I'm working in Genpact as an assistant manager. So I have a few data for my team members. I want to present that in front of the client. So Power BI is, I think it's very helpful for me to create a dashboard and it. So that's why I choose this one.
Got it. Thank you. All right, then. So I think you all have the clarity why you chose this course, right? Sometimes we also get the students like someone would have suggested that, okay, go with this course and there are a lot of opportunities. But I think this group has a clarity why you chose this course and why you are learning this. Great, then. So let me just quickly introduce myself. I'm Kishore, and it's been 17 plus years working with different teams, right from the data entry to data analytics, process automation and different things. Um, yeah, currently working with Team Excelytics. Coming to my technical skills, I've been working with MS Office package, be it Excel, PowerPoint, Outlook, Access, different tools in MS Office. I work with Power BI a lot these days and Fabric along with that AI integrations and all. Earlier, I was working with SAP Crystal Report, SAP Business Objects, ClickView, Tableau, different tools. Worked in different domains like US healthcare, revenue cycle management, IT assets analytics. contact center analytics, financial data management, and different things. Yeah, so the technical skill set that shows there. And coming to my certifications, I'm MCT, Microsoft Certified Trainer, MCP, Microsoft Certified Professional. I'm Deloitte Faculty Excellence Certified, and I'm a PL300 Power BI Data Analyst Associate Certified. And yeah, Excel expert, Word expert, all those MS Office package certifications I've completed. Recently completed PL900, which is Power Platform Fundamental Certification as well. So yeah, that list is too big. I was able to accommodate only a few here. Aiming for other couple of Azure and Fabric certifications. Currently working on them. So I'm currently doing my PhD in data analytics. It's a long journey, but yeah, I've recently started and I'm done with my one of my semesters and more. 5 semesters to go. So I'm working on the data analytics implementation in companies, I mean, mid-scale and small-scale companies. So that is my research statement. So that's currently going on. So in that process, I'm actually coming across different, the perspectives of various different companies. I mean, that's a good learning actually. But yeah, after spending a lot of time with data, then that's why I chose investing more time and coming up with some research problem and, that is going to globally create an impact. So that's what I'm currently working on. Yeah, maybe looking at all these technical skills, don't think I'm from a technology background. I'm become MBA finance, but the good thing is that I have both operational and technical knowledge, both of them together. So currently working with team Excelytics, and earlier I was a senior consultant with Quadratics into data analytics. They are into AI ML, development, and I was supporting them in terms of their data visualization and dashboarding. And prior to that, I was with Deloitte into reporting and analytics. I was with United Health Group. I was with iSpace earlier as a financial data analyst. It's been a long journey for me as well. It's been like 17 plus years. I've been working with different teams. And as I said, I've started my career as a data entry operator, but what I've learned there is how the data is recorded into the systems. And then what kind of mistakes could be done at the data entry level itself. Because I got that strong foundation of the data, like what kind of mistakes could be done, it has become very easy for me to find out any mistake is there in the data because I know what all things could go wrong at the time of data entry because I was, uh, part of it, part of that particular team. But yeah, I've understood all those data fundamentals, data entry errors, and how the data is stored. And then company gave me an opportunity to move to data analytics team. That's when I started working a lot with Excel, learned Excel, macros, SQL, SAP Crystal Reports, business intelligence, and SAP BOBI. So many things. That's a long journey. But yeah, currently coming to Power BI, as I said, I'm a PL300 Power BI Data Analyst Associate Certified. Actually, I'm certified twice. Okay. Why I'm saying twice? Because the certification comes with only 1 year validity. Within that duration, you should go for a renewal test. I missed one of those years and I had to retake the test, write the complete test once again instead of a renewal test. So 2 times I cleared it. Complexity wise, the PL300 is little complex than the other, MS Office certifications like Excel Expert, Word Expert, and all. The reason being, it's not because of the complexity in the question, but it is because of the MCQs. The test completely, it's a MCQ based and drag and drop kind of features are there. There is no application interface. So that's where it makes it little complex because without looking at the application, if you want to perform the steps. So that means you should have a, what is that? Lot of practice you should have done. Then only you can answer that, right? If you can do a lot of practice without even looking into the application interface, then only you can answer that question. Okay. Fine. Then, so coming to this course, Power BI, this covers all the required things in order to develop a dashboard right from the scratch and publish it online using Power BI service. The cloud version of it will discuss both Power BI desktop and Power BI service as well. Okay, both of them. It's going to take around 30 hours, okay? Right from the data fundamentals to how to create a powerful dashboard and publish. All those things, along with the ones who, do the Power BI administration part. Even those topics are also covered in this course. Just not only the development part, administration part is also there, like how to manage your Power BI service and scheduling the jobs, nothing but the report refreshing, setting up the gateways and setting up the connections with the data sources and all those things, right? And the first couple of days, I'll be covering the SQL fundamentals once again. Okay, I understand a few of you are directly attending Power BI. SQL you can learn later also. But thing is that there are certain things you need to understand before getting into Power BI because there are concepts like data normalization, primary key, foreign key, relationship, one to many to one, many to many, right? Cross-directional filters and certain things are there, and you can easily understand them if you are coming from SQL background. So that's the reason the first couple of days I'll be explaining you the SQL concepts only. Then you will get a better understanding about the data modeling and all. I'll quickly show you, a few SQL concepts. From tomorrow onwards, we'll start that. And coming to the training contents, as I said, it is going to cover both the Power BI desktop and Power BI service. We'll start initially with Power BI desktop. We develop our report, we develop the models, we fine tune the models. And then once we are ready with the dashboard, then we'll publish it online. And so that you can log in from any machine, any place, and you can read the data or you can see those dashboards, right? So even though you're coming from non-technical background, absolutely no problem because most of my use cases, I usually prefer using, the things that you see around. Okay. I don't want to get into too much technical stuff initially. I'll just show you a few examples that you regularly see and how you can translate that into, some data points and how you can report it. So those kind of simple examples I'll be giving. So that's what I'm trying to say. Like even if you're coming from non-technical background, it's very easy to understand Power BI concepts. Okay. Right. Yeah. We start with introduction to Power BI. What is Power BI and all, and how to install Power BI desktop. Even if it's not there with you now, no problem. Tomorrow we'll learn how to install this. And then building blocks. I'll show you one demo report. So a simple report how to create, get and transform data using Power Query. One of those concepts, very, very important thing is Power Query. As part of Power BI, we learn. So Power Query is a data transformation platform. So data transformation, again, don't get confused. Simple. The data, whatever we get in the real time, may not be in the right shape, in a reportable shape. So what is it we need to do? We need to fine tune or we need to fix the data related issues and also all those things we do using Power Query, right? There may be nulls, there may be additional rows or additional columns, and additional columns, we don't need them. Additional rows, you want to filter them out, right? So all those things we do using the Power Query. There are some, different things like merging, appending, grouping, unpivoting, pivoting. Different concepts are there in the Power Query. We'll be learning all those different things. So initially, after creating one sample report, our job is to learn Power Query only. The reason being, the data may come in any kind of a format, but we should be able to fix all those data issues, get that into the right shape. The moment you get the right shape data, that's it. It's very easy for you to build the reports using Power BI. And moreover, you don't need to come from the reporting background to work with Power BI. Today, I'll show you a couple of examples with simple questions. Also, you can create your report. You would have seen this already, like by any chance, if you start searching a lot about data analytics and all, you get ads on YouTube saying, okay, you can create your Power BI report just in 2 minutes, right? I'll show you how you can create a report in 2 minutes. But the problem I'll tell you, the 2 minutes report, anyone without the knowledge of Power BI also they can create, right? But if the data is clean and you know exactly what is needed, right? And you know exactly how you want to present it. You know the data, right? You know what is that you want to do and you know how to present also, right? What is that you want to present to the business? So when these three things are very clear, then it's very easy for anyone to just quickly create a report, right? I'll show you an example also within just like 2 minutes. What 2 minutes? In 1 minute also you can create a report. But the problem is with the real time, the data, first of all, you can't expect it to be clean. It comes with a lot of data related issues. Though it is, coming from the databases, sometimes there may be issues. Sometimes you need to do a little fine tuning before loading the data into your report. That itself will take good amount of time, maybe a good number of hours also. Then the next problem is most of the scenarios, okay, if you're building a new report, you don't know what exactly you want to show, right? Company tells you that, okay, we want to see XYZ metrics. Great. But in order to do those calculations and all, there may be many other, supporting numbers. You need to collect all the other numbers also, right? The next one is the visualization. What kind of visuals you need to use? Is it like a bar chart you need to use, or a pie chart you need to use, line chart, or a scatter plot, or a histogram, or a line histogram, or a whisker box plot, or a stacked column chart, or a clustered column chart? N number of questions will come. All these things are not that easy to answer in the real time. That is the reason every project of Power BI would take about a good 1 week, 2 weeks time. And there are certain projects I worked for like whole month also. Because that's such a big report and that needs to collect the data from different sources, 20, 30 different, 20, 30 different kind of sources, and collect all the sources, transform them into formatted, well formatted tables, and a number of things I have to do. So understand, creating a real-time report is not a 2 minute job for sure, right? Because you need to understand the business, sit with the team, understand where the data is stored, how it is coming, right? And number of things. And in few instances, we found the data access issues also. I'll tell you the problem in the real time. See, your business head tells you that we want to see so and so metrics, right? In order to get those metrics, what is it you need? You need the data, and the data is located in some database, and you reach out to the database team requesting, okay, I need access to ABCD tables, and they come back saying, okay, we need an approval, and you go back to your boss and you say that, okay, database team is asking for an approval, and your boss approves it, and you send it back to the data team, and they say that, okay, no, we cannot approve any request that is coming from only a level 5. We need a level 9 manager or level 9 a vice president who only is authorized to give this kind of an approval. Then again you go back to your boss saying, okay, we need an AVP or a VP approval for this, and your boss writes an email to that, and again it comes back. And let's say if you get an approval on a Friday evening, and the database team, they say that, okay, it will be processed in the next 2 business working days, okay, business days. And that means Monday, Tuesday, you will get it. So if you get the access by Friday, so you can expect the access request approval on Friday, then you get the access by Tuesday. You see the challenge there. Real time, the practical challenges are like this, okay? So don't expect a report can be just created like that simply in 2 minutes. It has a lot of things involved in it, okay? Fine. Once we get the access to the data and we get the data and we transform the data, what is the next thing that we need to do? We need to build the models. This is where most of the people they struggle. Without understanding the data modeling concepts, they try to directly, create a report. If you try to create a report without understanding the model, there is no point actually. You cannot see the right output. Simple. You get the data here, right? Your data is accurate. Okay. You prepare the visuals here. Your visuals are also accurate. But if the data model is incorrectly created, all those numbers that you see on your visuals, nothing but on your charts, they are not accurate. They are inaccurate. The reason being, the data model itself is incorrectly created. The relationships are not correctly, connected. Then definitely the numbers that you see on your visuals will also be incorrect only. This place, this is like the heart of your report. Okay, so the model, so the data flows from one table to the other table using the filter directions and all. We'll be talking about that, how to build powerful data models. This is where I need to talk about SQL concepts. Okay, so that's the reason tomorrow and day after I'll be talking about SQL only once again, so that you will get some better understanding once again before we get into the data modeling. So getting the data is kind of easy. Fixing the few data related issues are there. We need to spend some time with Power Query, and then we'll move on to data modeling. In that data modeling, we'll be learning, how to create the date tables. So, certain things are there. They are like most commonly done in the data models. Hiding the columns, building relationships, one-to-many relationship, many-to-one relationships, changing the filter directions. Okay, so basically how to create robust data models. So that is what we learn in this. And then once the models are ready, we create the visuals, right? Different kind of visuals, line charts, bar charts, cards, slicers, scatter plots, so many things, ribbon charts, gauge charts, KPI charts, different things we create. And most of the participants, they have this question, like even Excel users also, they have the question, not only just in Power BI. Like I have some data, I have the pivot tables, and I have all those summaries ready, but I need to show it in the form of a chart. But which type of chart do I need to use? That is where most of the people get stuck. A few of the reports, I can tell you this. Okay, a few of the reports, just you open it, you look at it, you understand what's happening. No explanation is needed. But a few reports, if you open, unless someone explains it, you don't understand like what's actually going on. So what is the difference, Both of them, they may be showing the same kind of numbers, but the way you present, right, logically arrange those visuals and the selection of the visuals plays a major role there. Let's say something that's supposed to be shown on a donut chart. If you show it on a line chart, you can't understand it, right? It is not a random selection of the charts. Okay, just because the chart is looking very colorful and beautiful, we cannot select the chart for every kind of an information. Okay, we need to use an appropriate chart for what is that you are trying to convey using that report, right? Sometimes we go with pie charts, sometimes we go with column charts, sometimes we go with line charts, tree maps, stacked column charts, clustered column charts, scatter plots, bubble charts, geo maps, right? Why different types of charts are there? Because if you want to convey certain message, you need to use that appropriate chart only. You cannot randomly select a chart. So for that purpose, we have come up with a scientific approach. Selection of the chart, how you need to make. Okay, so this one I'll be talking about in detail, like what type of chart should be selected. Is it like a comparison, composition, distribution, or relationship, right? When to use what? We'll discuss this before getting into the visualization. Then you will have a better clarity the moment you are showing something like sales by category, sales by category, total sales by category. If you want to show, I definitely want to go with a column chart, because categories, they can be compared, right? Category to category comparison you can do, right? And a particular category, last 1 year time, how the sales by month, then it's a line chart, because it is a comparison moving over time, right? A value that is changing, right? You better go with the line chart instead of a pie chart or something. But if I want to see the total sales, how it is composed by the customer segment, the moment you use the word composed, right? You want to see the lump sum, the total in one chart, like a pie chart or a donut chart, and by percentages, you can show like how much percentage is coming from each customer segment, right? So it's not every time we go with a column chart or a line chart, depends on the requirement and what kind of a message you want to convey to the business. Basis on that, you need to select the chart. So using this guide, we choose the right type of chart, right? We'll discuss more in detail, right? But there is a scientific approach to do all this. Okay, done. So there are so many different types of default visuals, but along with that, we also have something called custom visuals, right? We can download powerful visuals from app source. From there, you can download it and you can use it in your report. I'll show you one custom visual today. And then slicing and dicing, I think most of you are already aware. In Excel, we have something called filters and slicers. The same concept is there. Again, we also have manage interactions between the objects, drill down, drill up, kind of a things we can do. Here we go. After creating the visuals, you definitely come across one situation that these visuals, whatever the numbers they are showing, may not be enough for the business, right? Your business asks like, okay, how is the average, okay, by each transaction, right? How is the average of each transaction only in the East region? Okay, you see that these kind of questions cannot be directly answered using any of these visuals unless these visuals are supported by DAX. DAX, data analysis expressions. Okay, so these data analysis expressions is the formula language that drives the entire Power BI report. Like in Excel, you create a lot of functions or formulas. Yes, you write, some if, count if, VLOOKUP, XLOOKUP, all those different kind of things that you do in Excel, right? Similarly, in Power BI also, we have a formula language. Excel, you use Excel functions, right? In Power BI, we use DAX functions. DAX functions are also very easy to learn if you are coming from Excel background, because Excel functions, whatever the fundamentals that you learn, many argument function, few argument function, no argument function, which one is a mandatory argument, which one is an optional argument, and what kind of data it is asking, right? If you are clear about those questions in Excel functions, you can easily write the DAX functions also. I'm not saying, each and everything is very, very easy in DAX. There are certain functions that take some time for you to understand. Someone who is coming as a very beginner, and the very first time when they see the VLOOKUP or index match kind of a function, they get confused, right? But after practicing it for some time, they understand, okay, VLOOKUP works this way, index match works this way. Similarly, DAX functions also, you just need to spend some time. Okay, then only you will understand, right? So DAX functions also, again, you have like logical, aggregation, date, time, text, mathematical, and there is one of those functions called calculate. Calculate. This is a very, very, very powerful function in DAX, and we spend some good amount of time working with the calculate function. If you create an Excel report, you expect certain functions in Excel report, right? A simple thing is sum. If you create any Excel report, somewhere at the other cell, you will write equal to sum function. So that means definitely you can expect a sum function in any kind of Excel report, right? Similar way, if you are creating Power BI report, you can expect calculate function for sure. So that much important it is. It can do so many things. Okay, it's not as easy as some. Sometimes it looks very easy. Sometimes it looks very, very complex as well, because calculate function is the one that controls the entire filter context. So if I'm talking about the context and all at this point, maybe a little advanced at this stage, but understand that calculate is such kind of a function in each and every Power BI report. You find it for sure. I'll be really surprised if anyone completes the report without the calculate function. Then it looks like that 2 minutes Power BI report only. Okay, 2 minutes report. I'll show you how you can create. Done. Okay, so here we go. We got the data, we fixed the data related issues, we transformed the data, we created the data model, and then we created the visuals. And to support those visuals, we worked with the DAX, right? And then our report is ready. So what is the next thing that you need to do? We need to publish, right? Publish the report onto Power BI service. And the good thing is that the Power BI service account, you can get it for free as well, right? As a single user, you can get it for free. None of them you need to pay anything there, right? For Power BI desktop, it is for free. Power BI service, publishing and all also free, but there are certain things we need to do. I'll discuss that. And once the report is published, there we talk about how to build the dashboards, a web-based dashboard or a mobile-based dashboard or a tab-based dashboard, how to create an app, how to set up the gateways, how to set up the schedule refresh, and a good number of things are there. So what we want to see at the end of this training is, if a report, if it's been created and published, you want to leave it to Power BI service only to automatically refresh every day. You no need to touch it also. Usually in the traditional reporting using Excel, what happens every day, you get the new data, you take the new data, delete the old data, refresh all the pivot tables, write the functions once again, and check the charts are working fine or not. And then you save it and you send it. But in Power BI, you no need to do that. Once you get the data and you create a report and publish it, that's it. You can schedule it and leave it. Just in case if the report fails, you will get a notification email saying, okay, report got failed and please look into it, right? Then you just need to go back to the data source and fix that issue. That's it. Okay. So you can make it like a completely automated solution using Power BI. Right from data collection, transformation, modeling, building the visuals, writing the DAX functions to get the aggregated outputs, finally publish them and show it to the end user. This is what we are going to learn in this course. Okay. But as I said, the first couple of days, again, it's going to be SQL, right? SQL fundamentals. Once we are done with that, then only I'll take you there. Got some clarity now? What is it you're going to learn? Right? Okay, fine then. So I'll just take you through what is data analysis and why data analysis is important. I think you would have learned in Excel SQL sessions also. It's the same topic. So it's basically, you want to collect the data, examine it, modify it, transform it, and finally, you want to present it in the form of a report so that business can understand what's happening. Why it is so important? Because unless the data support is there, businesses these days cannot take any decisions. Right? Earlier, these decisions were like intuitive, but now more intuitive decisions. Everything is a data-driven decision these days, right? Your data says, okay, this is how your business is working. That's it. You need to just follow that. If it is doing good for your business, you just need to use the same techniques, right? So everything is a data-driven decision these days, right? Types of analytics: descriptive, diagnostic, predictive, and prescriptive. Okay, descriptive, it says like what happened in your business. Okay, you just require some historical data, you load it, and you can easily say what happened. The next one is diagnostic. Diagnostic means why it happened, right? What happened, if you know, then you can easily find out why it happened. The next one is predictive. What's likely to happen, right? You figured out what happened and you figured out why it happened. And the next step is predict what's likely to happen in the next 1 year or 2 years or 6 months. Right, perfect. So if you can figure out what's likely to happen, the next one is prescriptive. What is it I need to do? Right? So all these things will help the businesses to take the right decisions. In this training program, you will be easily learning the descriptive and diagnostic. Okay, what happened? Why it happened? With the help of drill down analysis and all in Power BI, you can easily figure this out. But when it comes to predictive and prescriptive, you require some domain knowledge also. It's not like your data is showing some kind of a trend and you cannot say, okay, predictions are like next month or next 6 months, your sales are going to grow, increase. No, right? I'll tell you one thing. Last 6 months data, if you load from, let's take from January to June, you loaded the data into the report. Okay. You don't have any idea, right, about that domain and industry. It's like a water manufacturing unit. Okay. And if you look at January to June, right, and you see slowly it increases because water consumption and people buying water outside also, it increases. And if you look at that trend and you want to project the future for the next 6 months, it's going to increase like that only. No, the next one, it's coming like winter, right? Most of the people may not consume the outer water outside, right? So that means the sales will fall. So what I'm trying to tell you is just because you have like a last 6 months data or something, it may not be enough to predict something, right? And sometimes you may have a lot of data, let's say last 10 years data you're working with, but there are other external factors that are going to impact your business. Okay, I'll tell you one thing simple. Let's say electric vehicles. You see a lot of spike in the sales these days, right? And suddenly government comes up with kind of a regulation saying, okay, the next 10 years we are charging 100% tax, more tax on the electric vehicles, right? If they take that call, definitely there will be some dip in that, right? So you will have to just not only the historical data support, you will have to look at the other factors that may affect your business, right? So that will take some time, predictive analytics and prescriptive analytics. But in this training course, you can easily complete the this one, descriptive and diagnostic for sure. Right. Why data visualization is important? You created any dashboard in Excel? Yes.
ChatGPT project.
Yes. We did one project session also there I showed, right? Okay. How to build a dashboard, how to take the requirements and how to, set up slicers and things like that. Okay. Why data visualization is important, I'll show you one example. Someone who joined today, then they can understand this. So I just want to insert a pivot table. I think most of you are comfortable working with Excel, right? Okay. So what I want to show is I want to show the profit. Just a second. Okay, here we go. I want to show the profit by the region. Region is here. That's it. It's like very easy to create a pivot table like this, and it gives us a summary. But the problem with this is, yeah, one thing, if you look at the raw data, you don't know exactly what's happening. But once you summarize the data with the help of a pivot table like this, you can easily say this, right? And each and every regional manager information is here. So here's the catch. This is what you need to answer. I'll show you the pivot for 5 seconds. Answer this question. Okay. Which region has the least profit? Time started. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Right. You attended the project session then. Okay. Here we go. What's your answer? Okay. Online participants?
Hi, Kishore.
Yeah.
Um,
What's your answer?
I am unable to view the video. I think you're not shared the video.
Uh, can't you see my screen?
Yeah,
No,
no,
I.
we can see your screen, Kishore.
How is it?
I think it may be running a little slow in terms of buffering or something happening or streaming.
Okay.
Hmm.
Is it okay if I rejoin?
I think it's still being shared. Others you are able to see, right?
Yeah, we can see able to see the screen, the tab which is manager information tab
Uh,
is there, right? Yeah.
correct. Yes, yes. We just log out and log in. Could be that case. Sometimes it gets stuck. Right. And what's your answer? South? Central? Okay. Right, yeah. Here it is. The moment we see some number like this, we may be thinking South, sorry, Central has the least profit. But that's not correct. If I turn this into visual, you can easily say that South has the least profit. Okay, because of the decimals, you see that it is 2,87,000 and this is 2,31,000. Right, that's what we learned as part of our Excel project session also. Do not depend on the numbers or tables like this. Always prefer visualize the data with the help of charts. Right? Yeah, that's the reason we always prefer instead of showing those numbers in a complex table like this, we turn this into a visual so that people can easily understand that. Okay? Then job opportunities. Okay, let me just quickly show you the Power BI jobs in Hyderabad. Senior Power BI developer. Let's see what all things they are asking for. Power BI dashboard design, DAX. Okay, I get a question here. Why they are asking for SQL? To present the data in a Power BI, we have to retrieve the data from some other from some source. We need to get the data, right? That source usually it's a database, right? If you want to interact with the database and get the data, definitely you need to have some idea about SQL. This is what most of the people they do this mistake. They learn Power BI, but they ignore SQL. Okay, why do I need to learn SQL? What is the point learning SQL and all? But the point is that you open any kind of a Power BI development role, okay? SQL is for sure asked. Okay, so let me open any other also. Let's say randomly open as an it is asking for the DAX, Power BI, all those things. Great. Why they're asking for SQL again? Right? Cognizant Power BI admin. This is admin role, so definitely the BI administration. This is something like Power BI service side and other few things are there. Any other Power BI, Assistant Manager Power BI, KPMG. They didn't mention much about it. Yash Technologies, right? Proficient in SQL and capable of writing DAX. You're getting the point? So, different roles are there, but definitely, you will find this as SQL and SSIS equals our integration services, okay? Definitely, you will see SQL along with Power BI, right? LTI Mindtree. They're looking for Power BI, business intelligence consultant, SQL, familiar with the SQL Server analysis services and integration services, right? You see that Power BI desktop, service, gateways, Power BI administration. This is what I'm talking about. So all these things are covered in this course, right? Yeah. And certain job postings, even I found they are asking for, yeah, especially in Deloitte one. PL300 certification, which is Power BI Data Analyst Associate certification only, right? GenPact. Right. All these things, definitely it comes with a combination of Power BI, SQL, and DAX. You see that? This one, Power BI, QA engineer. You just randomly open anything, and moreover, all these Power BI jobs are from Hyderabad only. Okay. So understand that there are openings, but only thing is that the skills they are looking for, Power BI along with SQL and other things like Power BI administration, Power BI service, gateway, right? Things like that. So most of the people, what they think is the moment they see something as Power BI developer, what they think, not only others, even probably even I would have thought the same way. Power BI developer. What is it we need to learn? Power BI. But hold on, Power BI alone cannot get you a job. That is a challenge there. You will have to have some idea about other tools also to become a Power BI developer or a data analyst. Especially Excel is one of those things. Excel is the first step. So that's the reason if anyone wants to directly join a Power BI session, I say that, okay, first start with Excel. Because Excel has a very friendly interface. Okay. So there writing a function is very, very easy. But in Power BI DAX functions, you need to, imagine the output, the way you need to write the function to get that output, all those things with your imagination skills itself, you should be, ready first of all, then only you can write the DAX function. Writing a DAX without knowing Excel functions is not going to be that easy. I'm not saying it is impossible to learn DAX directly, but it's going to take more time. Okay, if someone is coming from Excel background, it's easy for them. But someone directly attempting a DAX, it looks definitely complex for them. Okay. Then the other things are like to become a data analyst or a Power BI developer, Power BI for sure it is needed, and dashboarding skills. Python, yeah, these days a few companies are asking, but good to have Python skills also. Querying Microsoft Excel, SQL Server, and any relational database, right? All these skills are needed. Average pay is really good for the beginners also. Okay. What is Power BI? It comes with these four very, very important things in it. Power Query for the data transformation, Power Pivot for data modeling, Power View to build the reports, Power BI Service to publish the reports, right? We will be learning all four of them. We initially start with Power Query only, how to, get the data, how to transform the data. So one interesting thing is that if you look at Power Query and Power Pivot, these things were initially introduced in Excel only. 2010 Excel got Power Pivot. 2013 Excel, it got Power Query. They implemented both of them there and tested, and then they integrated the same kind of Power Query and Power Pivot into Power BI. Okay, so that's the reason even if you open the Power Pivot interface or Power Query interface in Excel, you find the same kind of interface like Power BI. Okay, the components of Power BI. This is what we will learn how to install Power BI desktop in our computer, and then working with the different sources. It could be SQL Server, Azure SQL Server, or any other cloud database, right? Other things. There are hundreds of data sources available. You can easily connect to them. And then once you are ready with your report, we publish this onto Power BI service. Okay, and so that from the Power BI service, you can view that report in any of these things, be it laptop, desktop, tab, anything you can use, and you can view the report. Okay, so you also have Power BI Data Gateway. Power BI Data Gateway helps us to refresh the data, right? Scheduling the refresh. We'll discuss in detail when we get into the report development and how to connect to the sources and how to publish. For any report development, these are the 6 stages we see. Okay, the presentation and all will be shared with you. You can go through that. So the very first thing, where do we start any report? Get the data. You need to get the data first, right? If you want to create any report. So get the data and then build the data models, create the relationships and setting up something there. Okay. And after that, writing the measures using the DAX functions, data analysis expressions, we write the measures. Once the measures are ready, we build reports. Okay, once the reports are ready, there is something called RLS, row level security. Very, very important one, row level security. So I can tell you a simple example here. Let's say there is a dashboard. Okay, this consists of all 5 regions. Okay, your business tells you that each and every regional manager should be able to see their respective data only. Nothing but South manager should be able to see only South data. North manager should be able to see only North data. Then what is it we need to do? Restrict it as. How do we do that? We may be thinking like, can we hide the other records and do something or apply the filters and share the report? Okay, someone who is good with Excel, they can easily, unfilter or, unhide those things and can see the data, right? So what is that we need to do? We need to go to the raw data. Let's say if you are sharing a report with the North manager, so you just need to keep only the North data there. Okay, North data there, and rest of the 4 regions data you need to delete and save it as a North report and send it. You getting the point? Like you just select all other, delete them, right? And then just you are left with what? Only North, and then save this report as North report and send it. You getting the point? Hmm. I'm talking about an Excel report. If it is like coming from SQL, then you can write a where clause where region is equal to North, and you can restrict the data there, right? Okay, but here's the catch. How many reports you need to create then? 3 more. How many? Let's say you have like 5 regions. So definitely you need to create 5 different reports for each region. And moreover, CEO wants to see all regions. Then altogether 6 reports. But in Power BI, we have something called RLS, row level security. You know what is the advantage there? Report is same for everyone. Report is same. But when you log in as a North manager, you see only North data. When South manager logs in, only South data. You see the advantage of it. Report is same for everyone, but it will be controlled in the backend itself. Basis on your login, it understands, okay, which kind of a role you are logging into, and then basis on that, it will filter the data automatically. So that is RLS. There may be, a good number of interview questions on RLS. We learn about what is static RLS, dynamic RLS and all. Okay. After setting up the RLS, finally, we publish the report. Okay. That's what we do. Prerequisites, yeah, using a computer, browsers, internet connection, and knowledge of Excel formulas and SQL is desirable. Excel formulas you should know, because DAX functions, if you want to write, definitely Excel functions you should know, and SQL. Anyways, I'm going to cover SQL concepts once again. Okay, so it's more like a refresher for the ones who completed SQL, and someone who directly joined Power BI, it will give them some idea. Okay, what is SQL and how it works. Again, most of the participants, they have this question: should I need to go with Power BI or Tableau or ClickView or ClickSense? Right? It depends actually. So why we suggest Power BI is because one thing, it is very cost effective. Most of the mid-scale and small-scale companies are also able to go for Power BI licenses, because it's about only $10 per month as a pro user. But it's like little expensive, and moreover, as a free single user, it's a lifetime free. Power BI is lifetime free as a single user. Okay, but unless you want to share it with others, colleagues and all, then you need to go for a license. But as a single user, you want to practice all those things, it's easy, right? Very easily you can do that. And Tableau, I think it comes these days, it comes only with 14 days or 15 days free trial. After that, you will have to either pay for it, or you need to use any other email account and register one more account, right? So custom visuals, you can easily download and use them. Data storage, completely cloud-based, and both cloud and on-prem server-based, both of them. Okay, we'll talk about that when we get into the data storage there. Data connectors, in both the places, most of the data connectors are available. One place Tableau takes the lead is can handle large amount of data. Tableau. Okay, but it's good for mid-sized data. I'll tell you one thing, even if you have large amounts of data, if you are creating a report for one particular department in the entire organization, one department, and one department data is usually, it's a medium-sized data only, right? But for the entire organization, something like a Facebook feed, okay? you want to report or you want to generate the analytics using that, then definitely, every day millions of posts may be there on the Facebook. Then handling that much data is not okay for Power BI. Okay. Power BI to handle high amounts of data, yes, you have a premium capacity server, but that's like way too expensive. Okay. Why Tableau has got a lot of customers, because it was what started in 2003. But Power BI, their very first commercial edition, they released in April 2015. It's just like only what, 10 years old application, right? So it's like 22 years old application. So that's the reason a good number of clients are there. But these days, a lot of migration projects are coming from Tableau to Power BI. Implementation, yeah, very easy to implement. It requires a little learning. Measures, we use DAX, and there we use MDX, and yeah. So one more point that you need to remember here, as a pro user of Power BI, okay, or a single user of a Power BI without any license, we can go up to only 1 GB data set publishing. 1 GB. 1 GB itself is such a big data set. But yeah, sometimes your report can go beyond 1 GB in the real time. Okay. So feasible for large companies, it can handle a lot of data. One more very, very, very important thing that you need to remember, Power BI is developed only for Windows environment, not for Apple MacBooks. You cannot use Power BI there. Power BI, mobile version is there to view the reports, but for the development purpose, to view, you don't have an issue, but for the development purpose, the Power BI desktop application is developed only for Windows environment, not for Mac. But Tableau works in both. Okay, that's the thing that you need to remember. Yeah, Microsoft is leading. I'll come to all these things, but today I would like to quickly show you how to create a report in 2 minutes. I want to use Power BI. I want to create a report here. Usually the data that comes from a database. It can be SQL database, MySQL database, Oracle, DB2, Teradata, SAP HANA, whatnot, MS Access. But in order to get the database, in order to get the data from the database, you need to pass a query, SQL query, right? This SQL queries and all, how to write them, I'll discuss in tomorrow's session. Okay. But for now, instead of using a database as my data source, I'll use Excel as a data source. Okay, superstores data. It has a small table there. And I want to analyze how the orders are doing, how the sales are doing. Okay, done. So this is what I can do using Power BI. Just use Power BI. This will ask like, what is that you want to do? I want to create a blank report. To create a blank report, what is it you need? You need data. And the data can come from, import the data from Excel. The data is here in the data sources and superstores data. Then it shows all the tables and sheets there. See that? I just go there, select it, and I say that load the data. Okay. Then that's it. Whatever the data is there in Excel, now it's getting loaded into Power BI. Once you get the data there into Power BI, now it's very easy to create a report. This is what the 2 minute report I'm talking about. Power BI uses something called NLQ, the natural language querying. Nothing but you just ask any question in simple English. It can create a visual for you. For that, you just need to do a double click there on the report canvas on the white screen. Just do a double click and a Q&A visual it will create. And you just ask a simple question here, something like this. You want to see total sales. I've loaded the sales related data, right? I just want to understand the total sales. And if I ask what is my total sales and click OK, that's it. It generates that output. Okay, here's the total sales, right? And if you are not happy with the size and this one, you can make it a bit bigger, display units. You want to show it auto, right? Done. You see that, how easy it is, right? And just I'll do a double click this time. Okay, total profit. Here we go. The same format if I want to get, just click this and click that. Yeah, done. And I want to get total quantity. Okay, that's it. I want to get total sales by state. Okay, here we go. Each state-wise total sales. But I'm not happy with the bar chart on a map. Okay, that's it. On the map, right? And I want one more chart here. This is total sales by segment. But not like this in a pie chart or a donut chart. Okay, here we go. Right? And I want to see total sales by category in a column chart. Okay, that's it. And you just need a title there, something like sales report. Okay, that's it. You know a slicer, right? Right, I'll just keep the slicer here. One slicer is for the, let's say, region. Okay, and one slicer is for the shipment. That's it. Now you see central, east, south, west. And moreover, all these things are like interactive visuals. If I select California here, automatically it shows all the California related details. Interactive charts. Hardly takes any 2 minutes to design something, right? You can just click here and to see how the other values are changing. But the point, I'll tell you how or why it was easy for me to just create a report like this. Because I know the data, what all things are there. I know what exactly the kind of things I want to show and how I want to show. Because I know all those things, it kind of, very easy for me to create something like this. But in the real time, the challenge is every report is unique. Every report requirement that comes unique, right? And your client may want to see sometimes, ABC metrics and sometimes XYZ metrics. And sometimes I worked in a process where even client didn't have any idea like what is that they need to show. See, they have some data. They have some idea like they want to show something like this, but they don't know how the calculation to be done and so many things, it took some good amount of time. So there are situations like this also, right? Sometimes while working on the data, you may be finding some interesting trends, and then you can give a suggestion to the client also, right? Yeah, so creating a report is very easy, but if the data is clean and you know exactly what you're doing, right? That's when 2 minutes Power BI report is easy. But what if I show you a data set that has so many blanks, so many issues, subtotals? You see, using this data set, you cannot create a report. Why? Because you have so many blanks, you have, missing data there, data is not completely filled, subtotals are there in the data, which is not recommended. And when you have these kind of data sets, then it's not that easy to just simply load and create a report. You need to do a lot of data transformation activity. That is what we are going to do as part of Power Query, right? And one more thing I'll show you. I want to use, a website data. This is a COVID cases data, okay? I want to get the data from a web page. You see, you can connect to the different data sources. Currently, this is coming from a web page. Okay, done loaded. Right, I can show the COVID cases impact these days. I want to show it by the country, the cases. Instead of the country, let us use the date. Yeah, you see that initially during the 2020, the cases are like so high, right? Let me just select only India from there so that it gives us a better clarity. You remember the first wave, second wave, third wave, right? During that, you see that it started March onwards, right? You see that March, May. Yeah, April onwards it has started actually. And third wave is also there. So, there are during that stage there were like unfortunate deaths also. If you observe, if you show both of them, line axis, secondary line axis. Yeah. So that's also if you keep it. Yeah. In the third wave, the good thing is that I think and vaccination and everything worked well, though there was like an impact. You see, in the first wave and second, deaths are also very much proportionate to the number of cases reported. But in the third wave, you see deaths reported very less compared to the spikes. Right. So these kind of things can be easily analyzed. Okay. Not only that, I would like to show you one more thing. This is what I'm talking about, a custom visual. In Tableau, it's going to take some time, but it's like very easy in Power BI. You just go to app source visuals and search for like animated bar chart rays. And I like this. Okay. So this looks really good. Let me show you. Right, and I downloaded. This is what I'm trying to tell you, that you can download the different visuals and you can work the way you want. Let me show you what all you can show there. So let's say I want to show the country there. I want to show the cumulative cases, right, and the period. And the first 15 I want to show, top 15 countries. Done. You see this? Have you ever seen this kind of a thing? Of course, initially it may not make much sense, but yeah, slowly once China reported, started reporting the cases, and other countries also were reporting, but very few, one, two, something like that. But now you see, after China, gets into 80,000 and all, by the time the virus has spread across the globe, See that other countries were just in tens. That's it. After China getting into 80,000, look at the other country numbers, right? Have you ever seen this kind of a chart on LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, right? Hardly takes any 2 minutes to configure something like this, right? You see that? So every day the cumulative cases, how they increased, and Italy took a bad hit after China, right? Then you got Spain there, you have like United States. You see that? India was nowhere in the picture during that time where these people were like struggling, number of cases. You got this? Right, you can configure it in a better way so that you can see those country names clearly and all other stuff. Yeah, that's how it is. So we can configure that like every year or every month, day by day, how the cases have increased. Okay, so all these things are the cumulative cases. Okay, so India is here now. Okay, so these kind of things, very interesting things, can be created in minutes using Power BI, right? So I just showed you a simple example of how you can quickly come up with a report like this with simple questions. Not only that, you can download the visuals, custom visuals, right? That's also very easy, right? A good number of things are there in Power BI. And tomorrow, I'll take you through how to install Power BI. Okay. And after that, we'll move on to SQL concepts because I need to talk about the keys and constraints on the tables, primary key, foreign key, unique key, how the data is stored inside the tables, how they can be related, right? Very much important because if you want to build a robust data model, you definitely need to understand all these concepts. Okay, so that's the reason SQL concepts once again for the next 2 days. And then we'll move on to the actual Power BI content. Okay. Any questions so far?
Hi, Kishore. I have one question, Kishore.
Yeah.
So, what is Power BI Administrator?
Power BI administrator is basically to manage those accounts and all. I'll tell you one thing, in the organization, there will be so many Power BI users also. Yes.
Okay.
Someone will have to manage their accounts also, right? Who should have which kind of a license? Is it a pro license or a PPU license, a premium per user subscription? Okay. PP. That you need to administer. One thing is the user management. The second one is the Power BI data gateway and the data source credentials maintenance, right? Data gateway is nothing but if you want to schedule a job to read the data on a scheduled basis, something like on a recurring basis, you want to read the data and all, there is something called a gateway is needed. And Power BI administrators are the ones, they manage those things.
Okay.
Okay. So there are
Got
other things also, like sometimes they also manage the RLS related things. The row level security, I told you, right? Who should be able to see what, right? So
Yeah.
admin do that also.
Uh-huh. Got it. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, so coming to these sessions, it's batch number B00739. Okay, you can contact front office for the access to the material and all. They will upload that into Google Drive. From there, you can download it. This video will be shared in the next 1.5 hours, just in case. Today we did not discuss much much of the technical stuff, but tomorrow onwards there will be. So make sure, just in case if you have any questions or doubts, just watch that video once again before you attend the next day session. Okay. So for today, I just wanted it more like an orientation, what is it you're going to learn, how things will run and all. I just wanted to show you that. But tomorrow onwards, as we discussed, the first thing, I'll show you how you can install Power BI Desktop, and then we'll move on to SQL concepts. That's the plan. Okay. Cool then. Any other questions? Good, everyone? Okay, cool. Then let's catch up tomorrow. Batch number, please remember, because using that batch number only you can get the access to all the videos, material, and everything. Just reach out to the front office, tell that your batch number is B00739, and they will grant the permissions to access the videos and material. Okay. Whatever I'm showing on my screen, including all the presentations, raw data and everything will come to you. Please download and start practicing, but tomorrow onwards. All right then, so that's all from my side for today, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Thank you. Thanks online
Thanks,
participants.
Kishore.
Yeah,
Thank you.
bye.